Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Look, let me just first say, this is a new channel. I think I've told you, if you've been following me for a minute, then you know this is a fairly new channel. I'm a real estate agent, but I'm new to YouTube. And let me just say, my plan was to do a video every week. And it's still my plan, and I am going to succeed. But I'm going to tell you, when you set your mind on things, life has a way of just throwing curveballs at you all over the place. And things happen, and we can kind of fall off where we were, fall off the path that we were on. But the one thing I will say is, as long as you get back up and get going and continue to move forward, you're going to be okay. So that is me today. I got back up. I am ready to roll. And today is a new day. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so today is part 3 of my FAQs for home buyers and home sellers. And look, I know some of you are like, Sabrina, this is trivial. We already know the answer to these questions, but I am here to tell you that is not the case for everybody. So we do have some first-time home buyers, and we also have people that are, they've owned their homes for many, many years, right? And they don't know the answers to some of these questions, which is fine. But that is my intent for this series. So just stick with me. If you know, wonderful. But if you don't know, then that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you in this short series. Okay? Okay, so today we're going to touch on a few financing and mortgage questions, as well as some questions around working with a real estate agent. So look, you don't want to miss this. So stick around to the end, okay? Are you ready? Let's go. Oh, by the way, my name is Sabrina, and I am your local Maryland realtor. Look, and if this is your first time to my channel, let me start by saying thank you so much for being here. And if this is not your first time and you've been here before, welcome back. And look, if you want to know everything there is to know about living in Maryland and the surrounding counties, I would love for you to like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notification, because I do make videos like this all the time, right? And I want you to be the first to learn about what's happening in the current Maryland real estate market. So whether you're looking to move in 30 days or in 3 months, give me a call, send me a text or email. I will be happy to help you make that magical move right here to the great state of Maryland. Okay, so one of the questions I get, what type of mortgages are available in Maryland? Now, again, disclaimer, I'm not a mortgage broker, right? But what I will do is I work with many of my partner and lenders that you have, determine the option that best suits and fits your situation. But some of the common programs, of course, conventional loans, right? We have conventional loans. They usually require a higher credit score, but they also, have lower interest rates sometimes. So that's the trade-off. And it just really depends. But you also have your FHA loans. And FHA loans, a lot of times first-time home buyers, may use the FHA loans because it's usually smaller down payments required for FHA loans. But you also have VA loans, which are really, for military families and veterans with no down payment. So those are really good and work really well for some of our military family. And then we also have the USDA loan, and that's for rural areas, right? If you're looking, outside of the city, and of course, there's a map that would determine, if your home or the home you want is in that rural area. But those are usually 100% financing. So those could be really good if you're looking for properties outside of the city, in those rural areas. Okay, so another question that we get is, what is PMI? And will I need to pay it? Well, PMI is private mortgage insurance, and it is required if you put less than 20% down. And believe it or not, most people, at least that I've dealt with or that I work with, may not have the money to put 20% down. So yes, they will have the PMI, which is the private mortgage insurance. But again, if you have 20% or more to put down, it will not, be a factor. That means you don't have to, have that included in your mortgage. But what it is, it actually protects the lender, right? Not the buyer, in case of default. So the more you have to put down, if you have that 20%, that may be a great idea if you don't want to pay the PMI. Okay, so another question that I get, what are closing costs and how much should I budget for them? So your closing costs typically range from about 2 to 5%. And again, this is on the low end. It could be more, it can be less, but usually about 2 to 5%. And that really is just like a culmination of the different fees, right? Your loan processing, title insurance, and all of those things that add up. And that's where your closing costs kind of come in. Okay, so here's another question that we get, or we see, we see this posted on social media and different places, right? Why should I work with a real estate agent when buying a home? There's so many reasons. But no, this is a common question because there are so many sites online and people believe that finding a house online, calling the listing agent and working with them, seems a bit easy, right? However, keep in mind that the agent on the listing works for the seller, not you. The seller is their client, not you. So you need someone that's going to advocate for you. So you need a buyer's agent. That's the one thing. But a real estate agent helps you navigate the buying process. I know it may seem easy, but trust me, guys, there's a lot. There's a lot to it, right? It's not as easy as it seems. But we also negotiate the best deals. We have some negotiating superpowers sometimes. So we can negotiate the best deal for you. We can also identify potential issues with a property. Because we've been doing this so long, I know for me, I've been doing this for quite some time. Not even only that, I am an investor-friendly agent, meaning I've spent so much money on classes and working with investors, so I kind of understand what to look for as well. So we can help you, with some potential issues with the property. And at the end of the day, I said it before, ensure you have proper representation. That is key when you are purchasing a home. So here's another question. What is a contingency and how does it impact my sale? So a contingency is a condition that the buyer needs to fulfill before the sale can proceed. Financing or home inspections, those are contingencies. But what an agent will do, myself, I'll help you navigate and negotiate contingencies to protect your interests. And so I don't know if you all remember during the pandemic, it was so much happening. People thought that home sales would be kind of obsolete, right? It's a pandemic. Who has money? But that was one of the highest peaks, right, of people selling and buying homes. And one of the things that happened was that people were overbidding because there was so many people trying to get one home, and they were overbidding. They were not adding any contingencies, right? And so that's what this is. They were not adding financing contingencies, inspection contingencies. So that means they would just buy the house without getting any of these things done, which was a crazy time. But that's what was happening during that time. So another question I get is, what happens if there are multiple offers on a home? This is one of the reasons why you need an agent, right? Because we'll help you make a stronger offer. And the way we do this is increasing your earnest money deposit. Right? We can also reduce some of those contingencies depending on, what it is. And so there's certain things that can happen when there's a multiple offer situation. But that's the importance of having an agent, right? To understand how this works and can get you the best, possible information so that you can make the strongest possible offer. So another question that I get is, can you help me with new construction homes? Absolutely. I see, people, they see the pretty homes and they go into the new construction homes. They're talking to the salespeople. And the next thing you know, they're signing something. Let me tell you right now, stop it. Stop. Don't do it, right? Reach out to an agent, hopefully me, if you want to see a new construction home, and let me or let the agent go with you. Again, negotiating with builders. That's what we do. And, a lot of times because we've been doing this, look, y'all, we can actually negotiate with the builder. We can also understand upgrades and cost. I know there are some people, because there's so many shiny, new, pretty things, those underlying costs sometimes, can cost quite a bit. And some of those things you may decide to do after you purchase the home, and you may be able to get them done cheaper. So again, those are certain things that we will help you with as well. And really, at the end of the day, ensuring that you have proper representation during the entire process. So yes, we can help you with new construction. So here's my final question for today. Do I need a real estate attorney to sell my home? And in Maryland, a real estate attorney is not required, so you don't. But it can be beneficial, right? If you have a complex, transaction, or there's some legal issues, then of course an attorney can be beneficial, but you don't need one. Well, there you have it. Answers to some of those burning questions. And again, my intent for this short series was really just to provide you with some answers to some of those essential, commonly asked questions. Of course, some of this information can vary depending on the areas in which you live, but I believe the basis of these answers are pretty much the same, and it will apply anywhere. However, always check with the regulations in your local market. I just want to say thank you so much for your support. And remember, if you are looking to move or relocate to Maryland or the DC area or the surrounding counties, don't hesitate to reach out. My information is right below. And please like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notification. I am a new channel, as I said, and I really do need your support. Oh, and if you haven't grabbed your free copy of my ultimate real estate FAQs for home buyers and home sellers, click the link in the description below. All right, see you on the next go round. Bye for now.